Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really pleased to be here. And I do the tough things first. First, I have to say, I don't personally consider myself as a spiritual person, but still I'm very glad to be here. I'm here because I want to help to change the world, because I personally think it's necessary to be changed. And as we have heard before, yoga might be a tool to achieve that. Yoga as a tool to achieve peace and humanity. Because if we look at the world as we see it today, we find a world which is full of war, full of terrorism, full of social inequality, where, at least in a lot of regions, the living conditions are really poor. We have water shortages. We are destroying our environment. And I don't know whether you are aware, but we are currently in the biggest mass extinction of species ever. So we have a lot of global challenges. But I'm coming from a business background, and we also have a lot of challenges in business, because we cheat each other. We are telling lies. We are not behaving ethically in business at all. We put a lot of pressure on our employees. We put a lot of pressure on our suppliers. We are not always treating our customers as they should to be treated. It's an ever-increasing world. Everything is speeding up, and we try to keep pace. And if we can't, we basically fall out of that business world. We face unemployment. Again, a huge challenge that we face in the world of business. But it's not only the global perspective and the business perspective. It's also our personal lives which are affected. Because a lot of us are actually really stressed. It might turn into bad health conditions. Some actually have psychological problems, getting depressed. It has an impact on our relationships. We are suffering in our family lives. And in principle, a lot of people are really unhappy. So this is, at least from my observation, the world in which we live in today. But now let's think about what we could do. We could actually live in a world which is full of love, which is full of connectedness, which is full of the feeling of belonging, with a lot of health, healthy people, living healthy relationships and being very happy. We could conduct our business in a way which is ethically clean, and it could be even more successful, because on the basis of a belonging and a unity, we would treat our clients better, we would treat our employees better, we would treat our suppliers better. So it would have a positive impact on the business as well. And then coming back to the global scale, and one of the reasons why we are here, we are talking about peace and humanity and sustainability, which means we live together in harmony. We live together as human beings with equal opportunities. And we live together in a world which is going to exist also for future generations. So there are enough reasons to actually change something, to come from where we are today, and to reach a much better life and a much better business and a much better world tomorrow. And that's the reason why I'm standing here. So you might ask, okay, why is this bloke from Germany flying across to India? And what has he got to say about improving the world? So I'd like to share a bit my personal background. It has already been mentioned, I'm a mechanical engineer by education. So what does this actually mean? Mechanical engineers actually try to understand systems, and they try to fix them, they try to improve them. And this is what I do. I've started with understanding and improving mechanical systems. Then I got into the world of business, and I basically started to understand and improve economical systems, organizations, bringing them together, making them stronger. And then I studied sustainability, I went back to university because I wanted to understand really how big is the problem that we face on this planet. And let me tell you, the problem is huge. The problem is huge. So I wanted to understand also global systems, social systems, environmental systems, all of this global interaction that is happening. But then finally I recognized if we want to change something, we always have to change with ourselves. There is no way to change the world other than starting to change ourselves and then radiating out to the outside world. And that actually drove me to study psychology, because this is the science of the mind. And I wanted to understand how this really works. So I've got this broad background as a mechanical engineer, as a business executive, as a sustainability expert, and as a psychologist. But I've also got two distinct other interests. One is in natural science. I'm really, really keen to understand how things work. That's my German engineering soul, I think. And the other is that I'm also keen now, these days, to understand old wisdom traditions. Because what I found is that the conclusions which I have come towards over the last couple of years are actually the same as the wisdom which is carried in communities like yours. And this is very essential from my point of view. So today I'm working with entrepreneurs, with students, and with innovative leading personalities worldwide. And what we do is we educate, we coach, we connect, and we act. Educate means we are talking about a new worldview. We are talking about paths to get from the current world to the future world. Coaching means that if someone actually embarks on their individual journey, we are giving them a helping hand. We are helping them on their personal transformational journeys. Connecting then means getting those people together, really joining them up so that they collectively get into a much stronger position. And that enables us to act. That enables us to improve the world. That enables us to implement different thinking, to implement different worldviews, and to improve the world overall. So what is this change of worldview? And I'm going to talk about this in my detailed lecture later on over the week. For me, the basic is that, at least where I'm coming from in the Western society, we believe that matter is the basis of everything. And this new worldview is different. It puts consciousness at the basis level, consciousness being the basis of everything. So what is then the implication for our own identity? The implication for our identity is that we stop believing that we are a body with consciousness, and that we start to believe that we are a consciousness using a body. And this is the essence. It's the essence of the old wisdom tradition. It's basically the essence of the teaching which you achieve to when you look into more detail of sciences. But this is really the essence. So I invite you to join the lecture if you wish, to discuss really more about these phenomena of change, these mechanisms of change, I must say, and to also look at different paths. Because I'm personally convinced there is not only a spiritual path, there are also other paths. Because for example, I have progressed on a scientific path, but there are philosophical paths, there are a number of paths, and in my lecture I would want to talk about that as well. And finally, I would want to talk then about the impact that can all have. The impact that the new worldview can have on our life, on our business, and on our world. So I'd like to thank you again for the kind invitation. I'd like to wish you a very, very pleasant conference, and I'd like to join me in creating a much better world for the future. Namaskar.